music business or the music industry, whereas like an A&R for a record label, and also probably also like be a radio personality at first as well. So I just switched my major from broadcast journalism to public relations. So I just didn't want to just be on the radio. I wanted to also do business, and have multiple other businesses. So like, yeah, I want to be a hardworking girl. Okay, so I've shot this video once already, and this video was supposed to be shot in a whole another way, but something just told me to just go ahead and just shoot it and just be transparent. I need y'all to understand where I'm coming from, an update into where I'm at in my journey, and what Liquid Era is all about anyways, and how the hell did I even get here, from what some of y'all even know. Okay, so first of all, how did I even get here? I went to Florida A&M University in 2013 and I graduated 2017. 2013, I didn't even go into FAMU as broadcast journalism or public relations. As you can see in the clip I shown, in 2015, I changed my major to public relations from broadcast journalism. But when I entered FAMU, I was magazine editorial. It was something, they had a major of that nature. Yeah, I was the only one, and I'm still the only one in my family who pursued entertainment or writing in general going to school. Everybody else, first of all, I'm Jamaican.
Bomber clap.
So everybody is in nursing, health field, engineering, or education as like a teacher and stuff like that. I wanted to be like, if you remember the show Ugly Betty, I wanted to be like Ugly Betty, because Ugly Betty, dead ass, was the underdog. Because even though she didn't look the part and she looked like she didn't belong there in Manhattan in a huge, big building with colorful fashion and all these different things, she outworked everybody there. And at the end of the series, she ended up being the top dog. That's how I envision myself, like a small girl, 5'3", from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn. Originally. And I was like, I want to go back to New York and I want to work at a big old building in Manhattan. I want to have a driver, or at least I want to witness, taking the bus or taking the train or whatever to go to Manhattan and work and do that type of lifestyle. I always dreamed of that. What happened was, it was too small of us in that major, and we ended up having to be combined into broadcast journalism. The thing with broadcast journalism, though, is that I didn't want to be a no news anchor. Like, first of all, I don't like the news. It's always something terrible going on in the world, and it's just not positive. So I don't like the news. Ended up being like, okay, I do like the radio. I was on the radio for a couple years. If y'all know, I'm gonna put some clips in there. I like the radio, but I wanted to get more into business, on the business side. So I was trying to figure out, how can I still keep my creativity but also keep the business as well. Okay, so with public relations, I know a lot of people talk about Samantha Jones from Sex and the City because she was a publicist. But in reality, I never really looked up to Samantha Jones as anything regarding being a publicist.
Honey, you put up a very good fight, but you have no idea who you're dealing with.
First of all, Samantha Jones, they didn't really even get into her being what she do as a publicist until like the last season of Sex and the City. I did not realize, this is a full circle moment, that I didn't realize that I was already doing publicity work before I even knew what a publicist was. The year was 2009, and LaToya Luckett just came out with her album. Yes, the album was Lady Love. In 2009, LaToya Luckett came out with it, and I was super obsessed with that album. I was super obsessed with LaToya Luckett, and I ended up making like a fan's booklet about her. Like, it was her bio, it was like songs that I like a whole thing about her. What I didn't realize, what I made that day, was actually a media kit. But it goes to show that 9 times out of 10, you've already been practicing or have already experienced your purpose. It's just you figuring it out, your journey along the way. Now, how
And why did I switch Liquid Era Podcast to my agency? And what is the goal of Liquid Era? First of all, hi, my name is Denise. I am the CEO and founder of Liquid Era Agency. I'm blessed to say that, but it is a lot of freaking work. Oh gosh. If you remember in the first part, I said that I wanted to be like Ugly Betty. I love that she was the underdog. And I wanted to also always mix business and creativity, right? When I worked at the label, a lot of people saw what I was doing, but I wasn't able to really like show what I was going through because I was so busy all the time. So it would be professors sending students to me like to talk and like to mentor. And I would go back to FAMU a couple times too. I got interns and those type of things. But child, a lot of people would think that, oh, you work at the label now, so a legendary label like that. So
I know you run in Miami, you in the clubs for free, you must be doing this, you getting money, you getting paid, da da da.
if you only knew. Like, I was increasingly, like I said before, I was increasingly becoming burnt out. Like, even while I was on vacation, I was still getting text messages. I was still working overload, plus also personal problems that I had to deal with as well. Like, when I say personal problems, I mean like almost getting evicted out of your apartment each and every month because your roommate could not make up their rent. Like, I was going through that while also doing multiple marketing campaigns and looking over everybody else's work. So, yeah. I've been had Liquid Era in mind since college, and Liquid Era was based off of being out of the box. I wanted to continue my creativity of the ideas and have fun with it. I didn't know what I was going to do with it at first. I just loved the name. And fast forward, Liquid Era podcast. Liquid Era podcast became an outlet for me to vent. Liquid Era was a way for me to have people learn the way how I learned. When I first stepped into the label, like I said before, I'm the only person in my family that's doing any type of business in this type of industry. So I would watch interviews from Amber Grimes. I would watch Ebony Ward. I would read interviews. I would listen to podcasts, Miley Teal, Carlene Roy, Shaka, like Ethiopia, like everybody that are like up there. I would be watching. I still do. Like, I would read their interviews, anything that comes out, because they've been in the industry for so long. They know how it is as a Black woman. So that's how I learned. So my thought process was, okay, I'm going to go ahead and reach out to other people that are doing the work behind the scenes that don't get the chance to tell their story because they're so busy working. I'm going to give them a spotlight and show light on them, and they can give you the insight and learn, and so forth and so forth. It was working, and I appreciate the people who DM me or still ask me about the podcast and like still like is looking for it. But as you can see, I kind of transform it into video content versus the podcast. And the reason why is because I started to want to do more business. When I got let go from the label, what can I do next? Like, all this talent, all of this skills that I have, I'm freelancing and I'm doing it for other people, but I want to do it for myself. I realized that I have to actually do the work and meet these people and see if they're actually doing the work before I bring them to y'all. Because I realized there's a lot of people that are behind the scenes that got away scot-free from doing the actual work, or they know how to finesse, or they can talk passionate, mad, big, or whatever, but they don't really they don't really practice what they preach. So I had to okay, I'm gonna have to really fully do the work, and I would much rather interview somebody that I've bumped shoulders with or worked with or followed for a long, long time to know their work and their trajectory before I go ahead and bring it to y'all. This is probably for 2 years. I kept on coming back to the same thought process while I was planning. to put Liquid Era as the name of my business. And if an idea keeps coming back to you, keep circling back to it, go ahead and go look at your old notes that you've written down in either your computer, your notebook, wherever you write down your notes or ideas. And if there's an idea that keeps circling back, that you keep circling back to, you need to do it. And that idea of turning my business name from just D Brady alone as the freelancer alone to Liquid Era made sense, and it was time. So July of 2022, I changed it to Liquid Era Agency. But Liquid Era as a whole is a lifestyle. Liquid Era as a whole represents the underdogs, the people who do the work behind the scenes, the people who's going to outwork anybody that they come across. You wouldn't expect them to. Like Ugly Betty, you would not expect them to. And I was just like that in every predicament that I've ever been in. When I entered the label, I was not expected to get Trick Daddy on ESPN. Okay? Like, I was not expected to take so much of that bulk load of work. Literally. And even if the ending result isn't what I anticipated, you cannot say that I didn't put in the work. I want to go ahead and continue rooting for the underdog. I want to continue to shine a light on them or give them a community that we champion ourselves and advocate for ourselves. I want to continue to bypass imposter syndrome. And this is why if you go on Liquid Era's page, it's always like quotes and stuff about keep going. You never know who's watching and those type of things, because I want to be that encouragement to others that I didn't have at the time. I want to continue aligning with other creatives who want to think outside of the box, who are redefining what professionalism is. Why do we have to do that? Why is this the standard? Why can't overhead, like just over and beyond and within your means, of course, within your means. It's so funny because a lot of people are now like in their different eras and stuff like that, and I love to see it. So it's a full circle moment for me to create Liquid Era and to continue building that community. But I had to let this know because I want to attract clientele who was not afraid of thinking outside of the box as well, who respects my time, who respects the business that I am building and the mission and the goal. That's who I want to attract. That's who I want to align with. Liquid Era is not the typical name for a PR agency, a branding marketing agency. It's not. Off rip, it probably sound like, I don't even know. It probably sound like a club. It's not the typical. The colors, how fun it is. And I think maybe that's why some people just don't take it serious right now until my work ethic goes into it, right? Again, the underdog. They don't expect it. I've worked with people who, when they first come to me, they be like, it's kind of like the Phaedra meme video where she's like touching. How about insert it right now? I feel like people look at my page and my portfolio like, oh shit, like it's diverse, this is nice. But they would much rather, they subconsciously or consciously feel more comfortable being with somebody who is like, their hair is like super pressed, like they wearing professional shirts, hands crossed, tied over. Like, first of all, my pictures that I took for my business was inspired by Mary J. Blige. Like, literally. My bio on that page was inspired by Spike Lee. I like to think outside of the box. I want to have fun with it. That's what Liquid Era is. We root for the underdog. And we want to continue to think outside of the box and have fun with it. We want to push the norm. If you would like to do business, you guys know you can click the link in my bio. I'm forever doing content on my TikTok and YouTube, breaking down brands. I would love to work with more established artists and do rollouts and also do events and partner with different brands. I would love to work with a real estate agent and do a open house event for them. Like, that'd be super cool. If you just want to align and join the community, like, go ahead and follow Liquid Era on IG. I am going to have a well put together video that's more my steez and more dope that I'm already talking with my homeboy with, that's going to knock it out the park. But I just wanted to do this and have a sit down with y'all because I had to get it off my chest. I had to get it off my heart and my mind. So any tips and advice or anything that you guys need, email me. It's in the bio or description below, whatever, wherever I post this, probably everywhere. But yeah, Denise is out. Follow Liquid Era everywhere.